I'd like to make myself believe that planet Earth turns slowly. How do I want to read this? I do not know. Hello. Let me get a drink of coffee. Everybody, drink some coffee. Okay, so I had to put the carnival stories down and the Bisbee stories. They are coming along quite well, but stretch. But they were in my melon way too much. I was starting to turn into Brad Pitt, 12 Monkeys crazy. So I mentally pushed those aside, and I remembered, let me see if I can, that I had a chapbook almost done that I wrote a couple of months back. So I thought I would read some of that. It's been a couple of months since I've looked at it. So together we'll see what the hell's in here. Although I have no idea how I'm going to read it. I think we'll just let whatever voice reads it. But I don't think it should be that voice right there. Right, here we go. So the chapbook is called Everything is a Test. And here is the first thingy from it. Let me get my page scrolly downy thingy ready so that I can make it easier. All right. Here we go. I know how cold it can feel to be alone. This cold has teeth, very sharp teeth. It is a cold that digs into the bone and makes a home that you feel you have to live in. I know how cold it is to be alone. Doesn't mean the cold needs to stay. Just means it is time to learn to be warm when you are alone. The fire comes later. Okay, I like that one. The next thing is really long. I don't think I have the strength to read that. So let's find another short one. Several good essays in here I forgot I wrote. La 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 la. Scrolling through my book because I don't really want to do this yet. Wait, what's this? I got so much excited energy, it's just insane. Alright, this is like page 18. Imagine we are a bird in flight. Our wings are hollow. Our minds are free. The weight of the world is gone. The only thing is the night, the wind, and nothing else. Are you there yet? Flight is hard at times. But the wings will listen if you give them a chance. Ah, there you are. Now we are together. Let's see what comes next. There is a mountain. Almost at the top, there is a sharp edge that stands out among the shadow of this mountain. Perhaps it is a scar. To stay in flight, think of it as a scar in your memory that you now hover above, and you know will eventually heal. On the edge of this scar is a bonfire. Imagine our silent wings cutting through the night. Let me start that sentence over. Imagine our silent wings cutting through the night air as we see the firelight from a mile away. We grow close. We can see that the fire lights up the whole mountainside. A spark stands for our tired wings, perhaps. Flames and sparks dancing into the night. We can see a lone figure dancing around it. There is no music. There is no shadow. There is only dancing. There is only this fire. There is silence with our wings. Imagine where this flight takes you next. I like that one. I like that one a lot. All right, how many? It's 5 minutes of recording shit. All right, Let me find another one, or a short one. Basically, there's little short thingies like that, and then there's some cool essays that are longer. I think so far this thing's like 100, 150 pages. I don't want to focus on anything longer than that right now, because it took me 25 years to write that one novel. I didn't want to do that again. Okay, what's this? Oh, this is the one about when I did peyote. I'm not sure how long this is. Fuck it, like I got anything else to do? I'll read this until I get tired and then I'll stop. Alrighty then, here we go. Maybe I should read it like Scooter McGee, ex-Dragon Hunter. There's no way I could do that. That is way too long. Alright. Let's do this peyote song. I'm not crazy. Here we go, fuck it. My peyote dance. I can hear them. I can hear them. I can hear them all. And the sound feels like so alone and yet so connected all at once. I opened my eyes to the sun. That is all there was. Blinding, white, hot sun. I blinked. I blinked again. Ouch. Blinking, it seemed, was going to be my new hell. Okay, was all I could get out. With every sun-blocking blink, my mind and body started to return to me, and I regretted every second of it. Every muscle and vein in my body felt like I had stretched them to their limit the night before, and they were going to tell me how upset they were about that fact. They were very thorough. Okay, I said again as I sat up and tried to look around to see where in the hell I was. All I could see was desert and sun. The campsite was nowhere close. I was also naked. Oh, fuck, somebody I knew would be lost and... Wait, what is that? I can't see. Oh, I gotta clean my light. Let me scoot this laptop a little closer for you so I can see. All right, let me start that over. Oh, fuck. Someday I knew I would be lost and naked in the desert. I just freaking knew it. I said as my stomach tried to empty contents that were long gone. My stomach muscles screamed that we had been doing this vomit dance for quite some time now. This was going to suck. After several failed attempts at standing up, I finally accomplished the impossible and looked around. Half a mile away, I could see the campfire smoke and started a zombie Bambi walk towards the water and shade. My head pounded like an unrelenting self-healing I need to find myself hammer. This is what you wanted to do. Well, ta-da! You got your wish. I hated my subconscious at times. Mostly because it was always right and I couldn't defend or argue with that fact. The sudden heat flicked a switch in my head, and the real world and my surreal world from the night before decided it would be a great time to tango in my third eye. Just ahead of me was an illusion of 3 turkey vultures eating the corpse of a recently dead coyote. A voice told me I had to walk through the illusion if I wanted to truly keep healing myself. My body listened to the voice as it whispered, I have to keep going because the unknown madness and sanity ahead of me is far less terrifying than the madness behind me. First thing to know here, a turkey's vulture's defense is to vomit on you. Considering how horrible the food was going down, you can only imagine how bad it smells coming back up. Second thing to know here, it was not an illusion. As my stupid, still peyote dancing ass spread my arms like a holy revelation in a Spielberg blockbuster movie, I walked through the breakfast party. I was greeted with the sound of feathers in flight, and then a disposal of what I can only describe as the inner depths of hell that decided it was time to clean out the outhouse and was dumped on my head and body. Time stopped. And to say I puked and screamed as I rolled around in the dry dust hoping to get the burning compost from Satan's colon off my body would be a huge understatement. Eventually I was puked out and planted my face in the desert dirt and said, "So this is what it is like to push it too far and die," a very calm voice said in my head. I heard laughter and lifted my head to see the water keeper sitting on his butt and holding his sides. He was laughing so hard he was puking as well. "Are you real?" I asked through a cracked, childlike voice. He laughed harder at that and threw me the water bottle. Stupid white boy! He held his breath, gave me a hand in standing, and then pointed towards the campfire. "Whew, you are on your own now. No way I am walking with that stench." Laughing and occasionally having to stop and catch his breath, he walked towards the campsite, and I followed him, scraping off coyote guts and turkey vomit as I did. That's still a horrible memory. That was day one. I had 2 more days of this dance. Boy, when you do something, you don't mess around, one of the elders said, directing me to a boiling pot of water, soap, peppermint oil, and sage. "What was that story you told last night?" "The saying your grandfather said when you messed up." "Oh, yeah. I hope you don't fuck like you take mescalito." The campsite burst into laughter, and even in my sick state of why was I doing this, I laughed with them because it was funny. After several scrubs of the soap and dumping the whole bottle of peppermint oil on my body, I lit the sage and let the smoke cover me. Teeth chattering from all the peppermint, I turned to the elders around the fire and said, Do I have time to nap before we do the next round?" They chuckled and nodded. "Oh, that was a good one." "You will be doing this dance alone." One of the elders pointed to the tiny teepee for me. "We have you all set up. Keeper will bring your buttons. You smell like a turkey vulture fucked a peppermint bottle. We want nothing to do with you." I nodded with a chuckle and a moan and headed to the teepee. It was already covered in paint and words, but I did not want to read any of them. I had put the words there, by the way, in case that was a mystery. The agreement was that the elders helped me do mescalito the proper way, and in return I would give them 13 paintings created on those 3 days, and a teepee that I painted for Red Dirt's granddaughter, who was about to have her 3rd birthday. Red Dirt introduced me to the elders, and it was his reputation and our friendship that introduced me to the elders and the mescalito. That was a very choppy sentence. Anyway, they agreed as long as I said no names aside from Red Dirt, and I said nothing of the actual ritual, only of the feelings, journey I took, and my story that came out of doing the dance that they would... I gotta fix that too. Been a while. For 3 days, I was to do 13 peyote buttons a day, and then returned to my site on the mountain where I would do the final 13 alone. I fell into the teepee and closed my eyes, thinking I was going to die before I ended this path and part of the journey. I was shaken awake, handed my first button that day, closed my eyes, and the real world went away. Or was this the real world, and the one I just left the fake one? I had to lose myself. I had to fall into my own insanity without a fear of not returning. I had to do this so that I could come back and know that line. between madness and calm. It was there that I finally found that balance in that song I had been chasing almost all of my life. I need to write more about that peyote adventure. That's all I got there. There was a lot more to do with the other 2 days, and when I went up on the mountain, there was a jaguar that I thought was an hallucination at first, until the next day, or the next couple of days. Time went away on the mountain. A couple of days later, I came out of the car, thinking I had some sort of spiritual moment with my inner spirit animal that was a big fucking jaguar, only to find out that the jaguar was actually fucking real, because the big kitty tracks were right by the car. But I come to find out, I do remember this sitting in the car, and I was all hearing the boom, 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 drums of peyote in my head, and I had the windows down in my car, and I was just sitting all, and I look out, and here it comes in the moonlight, this big fucking black kitty. I mean, big fucking black kitty. And I'm all like, oh, cool, man. And then even in that state, I realize, my windows are down. This might not be a good thing. Because, I mean, that cat could have just climbed into the car, picked me up, and took me into a tree and ate my ass if he wanted to. But he didn't, or she didn't. And I pretty much called it a she, because it had that panther-like female vibe that I don't know if that's what it was or not, but that's what I called it in me melon. But what occurred, what started occurring was I made a mental note to keep my windows rolled up. But every night around midnight, the jaguar would make its rounds. And I think every time it already fed. And the reason I know this is because the cat would just lay down by my car, and I'd sit there all fucked up on whatever, and talk to that cat for a couple hours. Just like, hey, big cat. I had deep respect for this cat, because it was fucking massive, man. Black and blue, and had these eyes, and would just fucking stare at me, and swish its tail occasionally. Well, one night, my stupid ass went into town, and acquired a bunch of weed candy bars, and I think some mescaline, and about 6 PBRs. I was having a day. I was having some issues. And I go back up on the mountain, and I eat all the candy bars, and I take all the mescaline, and I start drinking the PBRs. I was having a great time. I was all like, oh my God, I'm so super zen right now. And you know, I was a happy camper alone on the mountain, which is why I go up there to do that. Anyway, so I had the door open on the car, and I'm flopped out, staring up at the Arizona night sky, which is fucking incredible, and you all need to do it if you haven't. Just go to the desert, lay down, look at the night sky. Fuck, it's magical. And that's what I was thinking. Fuck, this is just so spiritually magical and amazing, blah, blah, blah. And as always, I had my phone recording shit in case, you know, I had some grand epiphany that I needed to write down. Well, I am leaned back in my car, completely vulnerable, and upside down looking, I see Big Kitty walking fucking towards me. And I am Gary Busey in the pool, Buck Cherry fucked up. And in my head, I'm like, I have my throat revealed to a massive predator. And I remember having the phone right here going, you're a big kitty. And it was just walking towards me, and literally I'm out of the car, and so I'm slowly trying to get, I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh, watch me try and get back in my car and shut the door before this big kitty skull fucks me. Although it was a female, so it would be like bumping scissors against an eye or something. I don't know. Anyway, I sit up, and the cat kind of picks up its pace, and I'm like, oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. And I shut the door and piss myself. Not kidding. I piss my fucking self. And now I'm laying in the car after, I think, 3 weed candy bars, some mescaline, and 6 PBRs going, oh, I'm staring at a Jaguar and I'm sitting in my own piss. But the cat just laid down there, and I could smell an ungodly amount of blood on the cat. And I think I even remember that when I was laying upside down. And I think that's why the cat didn't go, I think I shall rip open this idiot's throat and eat him, because the cat had already eaten. I kind of did treat that big kitty with respect and kind of like a spirit animal, because I did a lot of therapy talking to that big-ass Jaguar. God, that cat was huge. And I want to put all that in the peyote story. Obviously, I just rambled for like 15 fucking minutes, and I'm not ready to type it out yet. But it was quite entertaining telling you that story and reading the poems. Okay, well, I'm gonna go do some wood, play with my wood. Okay, Jaguar, fun story. Moving on.